Hello and welcome to another episode of today's GK. I am Pooja Divedi, and in this segment we bring to you objective questions to help you crack prelims. So let's begin with the practice question of the last segment. Consider the following statements regarding Saubhagya scheme. Under Saubhagya, free electricity connections to all households in rural areas and poor families in urban areas will be provided, and the Rural Electrification Corporation has been designated as nodal agency for the Saubhagya scheme. The electricity connection to households include the release of electricity connections by withdrawing a service cable from the nearest pole to the household premise, installation of an energy meter, wiring for a single light point with LED bulb, and a mobile charging point. So we have to select the correct statement. All these statements are correct. The correct answer is option D. 2.82 crore households have been electrified since the launch of the Saubhagya. These figures are till March 31st of this year, that is 2021. Pradhan Mantri Sahaj Bijli Har Ghar Yojana envisioned providing energy access to all by last mile connectivity and electricity connections to all remaining unelectrified households in rural as well as urban areas to achieve universal household electrification in the country. Moving on, Rural Electrification Corporation has been designated as nodal agency for the Saubhagya scheme, and the electricity connections to households include the release of electricity connections by drawing a service cable from the nearest pole to the household premise, installation of an energy meter, wiring for a single light point with LED bulb, and a mobile charging point. Moving on to the next question. Consider the following statements regarding the Competition Commission of India. It is a statutory body which was established under the Competition Act of 2002 for the administration, implementation and enforcement of the Act. The chairman and members are appointed by the central government, and it is the duty of the Commission to eliminate practices having adverse effects on competition, promote and sustain competition, and protect the interest of consumers and ensure freedom of trade in the markets of India. We have to select the correct statement. Now all these statements are correct. The correct answer is option D. Recently, the Competition Commission of India found that 3 beer companies had colluded to fix beer prices for a full decade between 2009 and 18. As a result, the Competition Commission of India slapped a penalty of rupees 873 crore on the companies for cartelization. CCI was established under the Competition Act of 2002 for the administration, implementation and enforcement of the Act and was duly constituted in March 2009. Chairman and members are appointed by the central government, and it is the duty of the Commission to eliminate practices having adverse effects on competition, promote and sustain competition, protect the interest of customers, and ensure freedom of trade in the markets of India. Moving on, consider the following statements regarding PM CARES Fund. It was set up as a public charitable trust. It can avail donations from foreign contributions, and donations to fund can also avail 100% tax exemption. It is different from the Prime Minister's National Relief Fund. So we have to select the correct statement. Now, all these statements are correct. The correct answer is option D. Recently, the central government informed the Delhi High Court that the PM CARES Fund is not a fund of Government of India and the amount does not go into the Consolidated Fund of India. This fund was set up as a public charitable trust with the trust deed registered on March 27, 2020. It can avail donation from the foreign contribution, and donations to fund can also avail 100% tax exemption. PM CARES is different from the PMNRF. Moving on, consider the following statements regarding National Mission on Cultural Mapping. The Ministry of Culture has approved the NMCM to build a comprehensive database of artists, art forms, and other resources from organizations under the ministry. It is aimed at addressing the necessities of preserving the threads of rich Indian art and cultural heritage, converting vast and widespread cultural canvas of India into an objective cultural mapping while creating a strong cultural vibrancy throughout the nation. We have to select the correct statement. Both are correct. The correct answer is option C. Recently, the National Mission on Cultural Mapping has been handed over to the Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts, which will start a trial run in 75 villages in October 2021. The Ministry of Culture has approved the NMCM in 2017 to build a comprehensive database of artists, art forms, and other resources from organizations under the ministry. Also, it is aimed at addressing the necessities of preserving the threads of rich Indian art and cultural heritage, converting vast and widespread cultural canvas of India into an objective cultural mapping while creating a strong cultural vibrancy throughout the nation. Moving on, the Xenon 1T experiment, recently seen in the news, is associated with which of the following? It is the world's most sensitive dark matter experiment. The correct answer is option A. Recently, an international team of researchers made the first direct detection of dark energy. They noticed certain unexpected results in the Xenon 1T experiment and write that dark energy may be responsible for it. The experiment is the world's most sensitive dark matter experiment and was operated deep underground at the INFN laboratory, Nazionale del Gran Sasso in Italy. It uses the dual-phase xenon technique. Moving on, the Rajaji Tiger Reserve is located in which of the following states? Madhya Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra. The correct answer to this question is option B, that is Uttarakhand. Recently, a Supreme Court appointed committee has questioned relaxations given for the upgrade of a 4.7 kilometer road in the buffer zone of Rajaji Tiger Reserve and sought replies from the centre and the Uttarakhand government. It is located at Haridwar along the foothills of Shivalik Range. It is a part of Rajaji National Park. Rajaji National Park was established in the year 1983 after amalgamating three sanctuaries in Uttarakhand, Rajaji, Motichur and Chila. It was named after the famous freedom fighter C. Rajgopalachari, popularly known as Rajaji. Moving on, consider the following statements with respect to Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty. It establishes a CTBT organization located in Vienna, and once entered, no party can withdraw from the treaty. Both India and Pakistan have recently signed and ratified the treaty. We have to select the correct statement. So yes, it establishes a CTBT organization which is located in Vienna. This is correct. And the parties can withdraw from the treaty if they have their national interests at stake. And India and Pakistan have not signed or ratified the treaty. So the correct answer to this question is option A, that is one only. Foreign Secretary, while speaking at the United Nations Security Council meeting, said that CTBT does not address a number of core concerns raised by India. Shringla cited this as a major reason behind India's non-participation in the treaty. Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty was negotiated at the Conference on Disarmament in Geneva and adopted by the United Nations General Assembly in 1996. Each state party has the right to withdraw from the CTBT if it decides that extraordinary events related to the subject matter of the treaty have jeopardized the state party's supreme national interest. The treaty establishes a CTBT organization located in Vienna to ensure the implementation of the provision. Moving on, India, North Korea and Pakistan have not yet signed the treaty. Moving on, consider the following statements with respect to the Akash Prime missile. It is equipped with an indigenous active radio frequency seeker for improved accuracy. It also ensured more reliable performance under low temperature environments at higher altitudes. We have to select the correct statement. Both these statements are correct. The correct answer is option C. A new version of the Akash missile, Akash Prime, has been successfully flight tested from Integrated Test Range, Chandipur, Odisha, on 27 September 21. In comparison to the existing Akash system, Akash Prime is equipped with an indigenous active radio frequency seeker for improved accuracy. Other improvements also ensure more reliable performance under low temperature environments at higher altitudes. Moving on, consider the following countries: Austria, Poland, Netherlands, Slovakia, Belgium. Now, which of the above mentioned countries have a border with Germany? Austria, Poland, Netherlands and Belgium have a border, but Slovakia does not. So the correct answer should be 1, 2, 3 and 5. That is option D. Day after Germany voted the center-left Social Democrats in power, ending the center-right Christian Democratic Union and its Bavarian partner, the Christian Social Union, rule, the German ambassador to India, Walter J. Lindner, in an interview to India media said, new German government expected to continue strong ties with India. Moving on, let's talk about Germany. Germany is a country in Central Europe, bordering Denmark, Poland, Czech Republic, Austria, Switzerland, France, Luxembourg, Belgium, and Netherlands. As you can see it from the map. Moving on to the next question, consider the following questions with respect to Indian Council of Agriculture Research. It is a pre-independence body and it is registered under the Societies Registration Act of 1860. It is an autonomous organization under the Department of Agricultural Research and Education, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India. And we have to select the correct statement. The first statement is correct. It is a pre-independence body registered under the Societies Registration Act of 1860. This is also correct. And yes, it is an autonomous organization. This is also correct. The correct answer to this question is option D, all of the above. In an endeavor to create mass awareness for adoption of climate resilient technologies, the Prime Minister has dedicated 35 crop varieties with special traits to the nation on 28 September at 11 a.m. via video conferencing in a pan-India program organized at all ICAR institutes, state and central agricultural universities and Krishi Vigyan Kendra. So, let's talk about it. ICAR was established on 16 July 1929, registered as a society under the Societies Registration Act of 1860. It is an autonomous organization under the Department of Agricultural Research and Education, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India. And the next question is that the name of the cyclone Gulab has been proposed by which of the following countries? Iran, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh. The correct answer to this question is option C, that is Pakistan. Cyclone Gulab, which made its landfall in Andhra Pradesh on Monday, may weaken further into a deep depression on Tuesday, but intensify into a new cyclone later in the week. Officials in India Meteorological Department familiar with the developments have said that, and Pakistan has named the cyclone as Gulab. Moving on to the practice question, consider the following statements regarding Rashtriya Gokul Mission. It was launched to conserve and develop indigenous bovine breeds under the National Program for Bovine Breeding and Dairy Development. It envisages the establishment of integrated cattle development centers, Gokul Grams, to develop indigenous breeds including up to 40% nondescript breeds. So we have to select the correct statement. I hope you will be answering it correctly in the comment segment. That's it for today. Tomorrow we shall meet again with another segment. Until then, stay updated and thank you so much for watching.